Hawks fans, yes, all of you Hawks fans, training camp is upon us. Different things going on within the organization, but the NBA, the league should have never let us sign this particular player because he's going to come in and be a difference maker. Chef Saleh with the fillet, and I'm telling you, Hawks fans, this guy is going to be a difference maker for our team just off of the things that he is saying in his interviews, the press conference, how he's trying to get acclimated. I'm going to get into it, but welcome back to Hawks Digest. Again, take off your shoes, leave on your socks. We're going to get into this right away. I'm not even going to play around with it. But before I do, I got to give a shout out to all the crew. Guys, welcome back and thank you for being a member of Hawks Digest. I'm telling you guys, it means the most to us, and we're happy to have you a part of the Hawks Digest family. But if that is you who is a part of that 54%, I encourage you to change your mind and give us a chance over here at Hawks Digest. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Become a member of the Hawks family. The season is getting closer. You're running out of time. Let's go ahead and lock in right now. But yes, guys, I got to talk about it. Nickeil Alexander Walker, man. This guy right here is going to be a difference maker for our Atlanta Hawks. He had an interview, and he's having several interviews. Training camps going on. Also, you had the media day interviews, and it's been just some consistent things that he is saying that I just want to bring to light. And shout out to like everybody who's been asking him questions, all of the reporters from Brad, from Brad to Bryce to Miss Jamila J. It's like everyone is out there doing their thing. So, salute to them. But Nickeil Alexander Walker, man, this guy right here, I gotta do it. I just gotta bring it up because last season, now last season he only averaged about 9 points. I'll go ahead and give him 10. I'll go ahead and give him 10 on that. But the rebounds right there, 3.2. You're looking at come on down to that 3 point percentage, which is 38%. The field goal percentage, 43%. Minimum turnovers, a few steals, a little bit on the steals, a little bit on the blocks, assists nearly 3. And Nickeil Alexander Walker, being on that Minnesota Timberwolves team, was actually a guy who was a difference maker over there. Actually, a guard who was rebounding over there as well. Again, I tell you guys all the time, I enjoy guards who are willing to rebound. This guy was rebounding with guys like Rudy Gobert, Naz Reid, just other guys who were good rebounders, but he was still able to find his way as well. And I just wanted to bring up these totals because I believe it is early. It is early, guys. But I believe that Nickeil Alexander Walker can come in and possibly exceed some of these or at least maintain. And if he's maintaining, that means everyone else is still doing their thing. But this guy has come over here and said he wants to improve. One of the reasons why Nickeil Alexander Walker chose the Atlanta Hawks was the ability to improve. Onsi Saleh has already said many times that if you're going to come to this organization, bring your best. And when you bring your best, so you're going to actually be able to connect with others. And when you're connecting with others, it brings that cohesion, everything that you need for a NBA caliber playoff team. Let's say that. I don't want to say championship just yet, but definitely playoff at least. Let's start there. And Nickeil, man, he's coming in. And here's a few things that I want to get to about Nickeil and things that he's been saying. Nickeil talks about being patient. He wants to get acclimated to the terminology of the offense. Again, for those who already know Quin Snyder, he has a somewhat of a complicated system anyway. It's timing, and guys have to be in their places. So I understand, coming from Minnesota, Western Conference, coming over to Quin, even though he has played with Quin before, it still has been a few years, and you got to get ready and get back to picking up everything, all the terminology, every places you're supposed to be, helping out the different teammates, things you got to do. So the fact that that's one thing that he's consistently harping on, just saying, hey, getting acclimated to the team, being a great teammate, but how fun it has been so far in training camp, getting to know all these guys, being one with with each other. And he also feels like it's beneficial that him and Luke Kennard are actually playing with the second unit right now, because him and Luke Kennard have been spending a lot of time together as far as playing and just playing together. Remember, these two guys are used to playing against one another, especially in that Western Conference. And he's talked about the benefit of playing against them and scouting against them, trying to take away all the things that he wants to do. And now he has the capability of saying, okay, I know what Luke wants to do. How can I, on the floor, help him get to what he wants to do? Or if they're closing out on Luke because he's such a great shooter, where can I be so in vision, and where can I be? How can I help out to be able to score or whatever he needs to do? So continue with the pass, move the ball. How can he be the best teammate he can be? That's those are things that you want to hear if you're an Atlanta Hawks fan, because that sounds like a complete team player. We want team players. So like I enjoyed that. He talked about how Luke Kennard is a capable shooter, reliable shooter as well. And just to be able to play with that and also a little bit against that is just going to further improve him. Nickeil Alexander Walker, another thing that he is consistently saying is just about how much he wants to improve. He's not rushing things, but he loves the fact that how he can basically improve with this team. Now, there's a few things that you get by having Nickeil Alexander Walker on this team anyway. And I'll talk about it a little bit. We're talking about elevated perimeter defense. Now, we know that historically we struggle on the perimeter defense, but bringing in Dyson, it did help bring us from the bottom of the league, and his energy and how he was able to navigate on defense was able to rise the Hawks up a little bit better, and bring us from those 20s to at least the teens as far as on defense. And you bring in a guy like Nickeil Alexander Walker, he's going to help elevate that perimeter defense, something that we have to get better for. Number two will be support for Trae Young. Trae Young is, of course, a key offensive player. And Nickeil Alexander Walker, he can play on ball, off ball, on the defensive end. Also, we're talking about if Trae needs to sit down, Nickeil is a ball handler as well. Remember, I told you guys, Onsi Saleh even said it out his own mouth that he is comfortable with the different ball handlers and versatility that we do have at that just the ball handling position. It's many guys that can control the ball. Dyson, Nickeil, we've seen Jalen Johnson. Of course, you still got Keaton Wallace. So it's a few guys, that can ball handle outside of just Trae. So you would like to see what's going to move forward there. You probably even see a little bit of Zaccharie Risacher because he has been working on his game as well. So it's going to be different options as far as where it goes to that ball handling. Now, this may be the most exciting thing for you for us Hawks fans. Complimentary duo with Dyson Daniels, and he talked about it. He talked about playing with Dyson Daniels, picking up full court on defense, not coming in trying to prove himself or anything. He just wants to come in and be an all around good teammate. Again, things that you want to hear when you're an Atlanta Hawks fan, looking for guys who just want to come in and win. Absolutely wonderful. And again, like I said, having that complimentary duo with him and Dyson Daniels, how could you go wrong? We're talking about this pair that's going to be providing the Hawks with versatility. Think about them being able to switch on defenders. Think about them being able to implement their defensive strategies and make each other better, which is going to make the league absolutely hate the Atlanta Hawks. That's what we're going for. I'm telling you, the league should have never let the Hawks sign a player like this, because at the end of the day, I know it was a trade, but still, they should have never allowed us to acquire this type of player to put him with the difference maker, Dyson Daniels. Now these two are going to be able to mesh. I believe it. The defensive prowess is going to be there, And Dyson Daniels, you think about it, he's going to be the head as far as like the defense, but you're going to have Nickeil right there because you're enhancing your defensive versatility. You think about this, Nickeil, even with his size, he can still guard multiple defenders as far as guards and wings. And thanks to that size and that wingspan, you think about his wingspan. Just think about all that. You think about that and the versatility that Quin Snyder can possibly use. Now, Quin Snyder has so many weapons that he can use now. I'm ready to see what he's going to be able to do with a guy like Nickeil, putting him with Dyson, because he already is talking about putting KP and Double O together. So it's going to be interesting just to see because the rotating pressure and reducing pressure on the interior defense. Because if the ball isn't unable to get into the paint because you have such good perimeter defense and shots are not falling and our guys are just getting rebounds and catching out because again we was like top 3 in pace last year. So getting out and run with a lot of these guys, a lot of these different ball handlers, the Hawks are prime and ready. They just got to execute. I really believe it. And more, just a little bit more. I'm almost done with Nickeil, but just a little bit more, man. The thing that one of the last things that stood out, and it's like a 3-part. But first, connecting with all his teammates in different ways. He said he felt like his life has had so much different meaning and so much different walks of it. And he feels like coming to the Atlanta Hawks is just kind of exploiting it and bringing that to his psyche once again, just different memories of different things that he's gone through in his life so far. And he's connecting with teammates, connecting with, for example, Christoph Porzingis because they both like old school cars. So connecting with him that way and having conversations like that. Trying to learn a little bit of French from Zaccharie Risacher and getting more fluent in that regard. And talking with Trae, just picking his brain as well, just because I mean he's the head of the team. So Nickeil is coming in and just making himself comfortable. I want you to be comfortable as far as getting to know your teammates, that is. And the part 2 in this 3-part is he talked about guarding Trae Young for the most parts of the 5-on-5s and saying how that is not only challenging himself, but preparing him for his defensive assignments. And his goal is just to get better and better each day. Part 3 of that, which kind of ties into the whole thing with Trae Young, he also talks about being on the receiving end of a pass from Trae Young, knowing when Trae's going to pass, learning his tendencies, and also just being in his vision and being able to find windows for the ball handler, whether it be Trae or anyone else, but Trae in particular, being in his vision to be able to receive a pass from him. I'm telling you guys, Nickeil Alexander Walker, Onsi Saleh called him a connector. I believe he's connecting already very well. So, guys, again, you got to give a salute to the Atlanta Hawks front office for bringing in this guy. And I'm telling you, this guy, the league should have never let us sign him because the Atlanta Hawks are on the way up from here. But guys, that's all the time that I have for right now. I will be back at you guys with another video. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that patch, that new patch that you guys are seeing on the Atlanta Hawks jerseys. So stay tuned for the next video as well. Until next time, peace and blessings to you all, my Hawks fans. And to you all,